আমরা নিউ ইয়র্কের ম্যানহাটানে আছি। দর্শক আপনারা আপনাদেরকে দেখছেন। আজ আমরা এমন একজন অতিথিকে পেয়েছি যিনি এই যে শহর, নিউ ইয়র্ক শহরের মেয়র মিস্টার এরিক অ্যাডামস। আমরা জনাব এরিক অ্যাডামসকে স্বাগত জানাই। স্বাভাবিকভাবে এই ইন্টারভিউটা ইংরেজিতে হবে। প্লিজ বি উইথ আস অ্যান্ড গুড ডে মিস্টার মেয়র অ্যাডামস। ইটস অ্যান অনার অ্যান্ড প্রিভিলেজ টু হ্যাভ ইউ উইথ আস অন ঠিকানা টিভি।
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, and warm welcome once again. Uh, I would like to start with the question that Bangladeshi New Yorkers have played a significant role in shaping the city over the decades, from small business to community leadership. What would you say has been the most impactful contribution of Bangladeshis to New York's cultural and economic landscape?
It is just truly amazing when you think about it, how the Bangladeshi community has grown in this city, and its contribution is really something that we should all be proud of. If it's from the education contributions to the small businesses, to Little Bangladesh in the Bronx, in Queens, in Brooklyn, over on McDonald's Avenue. I spent a lot of time there. But you are the fastest growing Muslim community in our cities. And it is so important that your hardworking, really your strong belief in faith, belief in family, belief in business, and most importantly, belief in public safety. It is really the bedrock of our city and our success. And you have your community, it has come in and has grown and silently became a large giant in this city. And, you know, it's a community that we are going to be excited to look forward to your continued success because it means success of our city.
Thank you so much. And the next question of this is the obvious question, of course, because President Trump starts his office for the second term. Many immigrant communities are concerned about policy changes. So do Bangladeshis. What challenges do you reckon for Bangladeshis and other communities of color, and how can the city help them navigate these uncertainties?
We've been very clear. This is not only a city of immigrants, it is a country of immigrants. And we believe the contributions on both in how they continue the success of the city and the economic stability that comes with our immigrant community. Billions of dollars are brought to our city and our country because of them. And I remember during COVID-19, many of our immigrant businesses remained open. They were a part of the delivery system to feed New Yorkers from stores and shops to the hospitals and the other healthcare facilities. And so it's a major symbiotic relationship between our immigrant communities and the city and country. What we're clear on is that we're telling New Yorkers, continue to send your children to school, continue to go to the hospital, you need medical care, continue to call on law enforcement if someone treats you unfairly or you're the victim of a crime. We're saying don't let a lot of the anxiety that's been built up through some of the reporting in our tabloids, don't get in the way of continuing to thrive in the city. My focus, as I've always stated, those undocumented or documented people who commit violent acts against New Yorkers and other immigrants and migrants, they need to be held accountable. They should not be on our streets. And after they serve their time, they should be removed from the country.
That is really something comfortable or comforting for our people, I guess. So there are people, I mean, who say New York is not a safe city anymore. Some even think it is dangerous. Hate crimes and public safety remain top concerns nowadays, especially for immigrants. What are the key safety issues for the Bangladeshi community right now, and what steps are your administration taking to ensure their security at this moment, Mr. Mayor?
Well, one thing is for sure, and this is not my opinion, these are the facts. New York City is the safest big city in America. That is a fact. we know that there have been some high-profile incidents that shakes the conscience of many New Yorkers. A woman being burnt on a train alive, someone being shoved to the subway tracks, a random act of violence, 3 people stabbed by one person in the city, or when you read about in our tabloids, a shooting that took place. These incidents have overshadowed our success, but the facts remain. We are the safest big city in America. Our transit system, we have almost a 4.6 daily riders, 4.6 million daily riders, and we have an average of 6 felonies a day on our system. Just look at those math, those numbers. And we know that we removed 20,000 illegal handguns off our street. We witnessed a double-digit decrease in homicides and shootings. We continue to see low homicides and shootings throughout the entire city. The major crime categories are down. Even in the borough of Brooklyn, we're at the lowest number of shootings in the borough of Brooklyn in almost over 40 years. And when you look at what we have accomplished, we know the facts are the reality that we must face. Now, with that understanding, we know people must be safe statistically, and they must feel safe. And that's why we infused an additional 200 officers into the subway system. They're riding the trains between 9 p.m. and 5 a.m. every day so that people could see them there. That omnipresent makes people feel safe, and we're going to do everything possible to match our decrease in crime with how people are feeling.
Uh, uh, Mr. Mr. Adams, I'm sure the statistics says the best, but the perception is somehow, the perception is sometimes considered to be a reality, and the perception is New York is not safe anymore. Sometimes it's being said that the police, you were a police officer yourself as well. The police officers, people say they are now more helpless than ever. Is it true?
No, that's not what police officers are saying. To the contrary, their arrests for serious felony crimes are up. Enforcement is up. We removed over 80,000 illegal vehicles off our streets. We removed over 1,400 ghost guns off our street to add to the 20,000 total guns off our street. And so when you speak to these officers, they're saying just the opposite. They're saying the handcuffs are off us. We have a mayor that supports us, and he's allowing us to do the job of keeping this city safe. That's what I'm hearing from the police officers. And so we know, again, the stats can say anything, but how people feel is important. And that is why we are doing things to make people feel safe, to match the success we've had in making people actually safe.
Thank you. I'm coming back to our Bangladeshi community. Many Bangladeshi immigrants run small businesses that were severely impacted by COVID-19 and inflation. What is the city doing to support immigrant entrepreneurs, and how can these businesses be better integrated into the city's economic recovery?
Yeah, and COVID-19 decimated all of our businesses. So many businesses were hurting, our restaurants, our retail stores. They all had a major impact on how they did businesses. But we have an unbelievable SBS, Small Business Services agency, that is forward thinking in the process. And so small businesses have a large impact on the city, creating millions of jobs. 1 out of 5 small businesses that are operating in the city right now started under this administration. We have a record number of small businesses, and that's something that I leaned into for day one. And I knew that what we had to stop doing is stop using citations as a form of taxation. And we said we're going to go in, look at the books to make sure that these outdated rules and laws on the books should no longer impact small businesses. And so altogether, we saved small businesses over $50 million in fines and fees. Our team looks forward to continue to building on that success, but we haven't stopped there. Let's be clear. When you look at the Bangladeshi community in particular, they should register to MWBEs. We have put in place, awarded approximately $6.3 billion in MWBE. Those numbers are unmatched. It hasn't been done before. We have a total of 33% now going to MWBEs. And so finally, SBS just announced New York City, 18 Workforce One career centers that has served more than 71,000 New Yorkers. And this is our way of making sure that we get employees to help our small businesses as they move forward. And our small business loan opportunity fund is another way that we want to infuse support with our small businesses. So I encourage all of our Bangladeshi small businesses, reach out to SBS. What I find that many of my immigrant businesses don't use the full services of our city. We want them to reach out to SBS and find out what things are available for them.
Mr. Adams, did you hear the complaint like this, like the small businesses has to face a bit more complicated legal system than the bigger one? I mean, whenever they face any troubles, especially legal troubles, that is like a bit complicated. And did you hear that a lot?
Yeah, we do hear that. And when I tell them about the services we have at SBS, many of them say I was not aware of that. And so using platforms like your show, I think it's imperative that we get the information out. Many people don't prosper because the lack of will, they prosper because the lack of information. And we need to really empower our immigrant communities in general, but specifically for this conversation, our Bangladeshi community and businesses. Don't do it alone. We are here to work with you so your businesses can grow. And that is something that we need to continue to get that information out.
Okay. Despite their growing numbers, Bangladeshis and other South Asian often face barriers in political representation. You know that, right? And then I would like to ask, what efforts are being made to ensure they have a stronger voice in city government? And how can the administration encourage more engagement in civic and political life?
A couple of things. Number one, your numbers are growing. So there must be a multifaceted approach to it because you are going through the same transition and pathways that other immigrant groups have done at the same time. So we must go into the communities where your numbers are strong. In Brooklyn, you look at the area over where McDonald Avenue is located, they need local elected officials. They need local council people, assembly people, state senators. Make sure in your mosque and in your houses of worship, your schools, make sure people are registered to vote. And then identify a candidate that you would like to throw your support behind and make sure that they get the support that they need to go out and get elected to office. And then use your block of voters in the Bronx, the Bangladeshi community, in Queens, the Bangladeshi community, in Brooklyn, the Bangladeshi community. Use those block of votes to identify who's your candidate for citywide offices. The more you coalesce and organize, the more powerful your political strength is. As you see in the city, I'm just proud to have Mira Joshi be the first Indian American deputy mayor, Rick Agarwala, the first Indian American to be a commissioner in environment protection, or your own, Mir Bashar. He's my chief administrative officer. He's the highest ranking Bangladeshi in City Hall. He controls the personnel in the movement. And so it is crucial that get engaged, but also organize your team of individuals in your community. Use your numbers for voting strength and power.
Mayor Adams, thank you so much for your remark and kind words. We are almost in the end, but would you like to say something in general to our viewers? And I would like to invite you anytime to any of our places to have some tea, coffee, or anything you want, any Bangladeshi food, if you dare to try it.
I would love to. I would love to sit down and do just that. But I would love to say to the community, being mayor is both substantive, such as keeping our streets safe, educating our children, making sure that we give opportunities to everyone. But it's also symbolic, such as the flag raises that we do. We were the first to raise flags for Bangladeshi, Malaysian, Nepali, Pakistanis, and other communities. Hosting events at Borough Hall. I'm hosting events at Gracie Mansion, I should say, allowing the community, the Bangladeshi community, to come in and see the symbolism of why I acknowledge the existence and presence of the community. So I'm going to do the role of the substantive part of being mayor and the symbolism part of being mayor. And I think together is going to allow your community not only to see the opportunities that are available, but to reach the opportunities at the same time.
Thank you so much, Mayor Adams. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Eric Adams for you. And আমি আমার দর্শকদের অনেক ধন্যবাদ জানিয়ে এবং মিস্টার এরিক অ্যাডামসকে অনেক ধন্যবাদ জানিয়ে আজকের এই ইন্টারভিউ অনুষ্ঠান এখানে শেষ করছি। থ্যাংক ইউ সো মাচ।
Thank you. Take care.